What is up and welcome back. Today we are back on Project Z, and I hope this is gonna be one for you guys to be really excited about, because today we are putting the engine into Project Z. Yeah, that's right. I have all the pieces, finally have all the pieces. I've been scouring today, going to pick up like little spring clips to put the throwout bearing on. I finally got a flywheel. It's all nice and resurfaced, as you guys can see right here. And I found all the bolts. I've like literally looked through all of my bolts, like parts categories and stuff like that, looking for all of the right stuff. I have had to get a couple of like mix match bolts and stuff that I needed that I couldn't find in all of my parts bins. Shout out to Mr. Shelby over at Sac City. He's the one that hooked me up with all the stuff necessary to put everything in, to put my new diff in and all of that. So I want to show you guys everything step by step. Might be a little bit of a longer video, but I'm stoked. Let's get this going. I don't know if I've updated you guys on everything. I did get a starter wire. I have a starter. Let me walk you guys around a little bit and show you. See, I have the starter. I showed you guys all the bolts. I washed out in here. It didn't get too clean, but where the shaft is at, where everything rides and will be greased, it'll be just fine. We do have to change out the pivot ball to the shorter one. We're using a thicker fork. This is actually the newer style fork. The older style one's real thin metal, and that's why this one has a longer like thing on it. So there's actually a shorter one. If I look over here in all of my area, you can see actually how much shorter this one is. So we'll be changing that out, putting the fork in, putting the flywheel on. So also I want to show you guys, okay, I didn't show you guys, I didn't do the video where I was putting this in because I was trying to figure it out and all that, but I want to show you I started on the interior stuff. Check it out. I have the Sicky brake mounted. It's super sturdy too. Big shout out to my dude over at Level Ride Concepts. Sent me this mount that takes up literally no space. I mean, you can hang on this thing, and so I had to put it in. I wanted to kind of just, I don't know, like sometimes, like I love building this stuff with you guys. I love showing you every step of the way and that type of stuff, but sometimes when I have to figure it out, sometimes it's just easier for me to just kind of sit back, figure it out, and show you. So that will be the only thing on this project that I don't show you, I promise, okay? So anyway, I hope you guys are digging that. Like, it is just super clean. Walk around, open it up. You can see it actually has the interior stuff. I still need to get the seat mounts for the seats to mount in. Big shout out to my homie Julian. I forgot about this also. You can see that he got me a GK Tech diff mount brace. So when I go to put my new diff in, kind of leave that in there. I'm trying to keep everything with the car because parts I keep acquiring and all of that. But other than that, I really don't have anything new. It was just that I started to do. I did get headlight buckets, again, from Sac City Auto. They hooked it up. So now I have a complete front end. So after we put the engine in, supercharger on, we can actually put the whole thing on, and then it's just a front bumper and headlights. Oh, and radiator. But yeah, I'm kind of cooking up some stuff with that too. If it goes through, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, we might have a new sponsor on board. So I'm super excited about that. But I think you're all caught up. It has been like 8 days since I made a video. I'm really sorry about that. Just been like crazy wild all over the place. A lot of stuff going on and like trying to source parts and stuff. So that way I have some videos to make for you. But yeah, I think now we'll start to put the shift fork, change the ball, get the transmission stuff ready, and then we'll get the cherry picker out, pull the engine off, put the flywheel up on there, and as it goes, yada yada. Okay, so pretty easy process. You can see now I have the throwout bearing, everything on here. This is pushed on. There's a little clip on the inside of here that you'll hear it snap. That is what you saw me doing, checking to make sure that it's not coming off. And then I use this to modulate to make sure that everything runs smooth, that it has full like throw. There's no issues. And then I lubed up the rest of the shaft too, because this goes into the pilot bearing, and then this is just to help keep it a little bit more quiet. So transmission stuff pretty much ready to go. We got to take the engine off, put the flywheel on, and then we will put them together. Okay, real quick, I want to show you guys this pin. There's an extra little hole in here where that should line up. This should not be anywhere except on this pin right here. And I'm stressing that because if you guys mess that up and you try to start the car, it will not start. It has to be lined up to that. It has to do with the timing on the teeth and the crank sensor. So make sure that you get that hole lined up. Okay. Back to the build. All right, clutch is all on. Big shout out to my brother Mike. He's the one that hooked me up with the 6-putt clutch. I'm super stoked on it. There's like literally no miles on it. We took it out of his car with like, I don't know, it was like 500 miles or something. He thought the clutch was slipping. We found out it was a different issue. So he's just had this sitting, save me some money, save me some time. So I got the 6-putt clutch. It's all installed, ready to go. Now the next thing we need to do is drag the trans over here, line this up, put it on, and then we'll install the starter, the cable, and this thing will be ready to lift up and go home. All right, I've showed you guys enough how I put the transmission on, how it goes together. You guys have kind of seen my process. So my transmission is now on to the engine. We are one unit. So the only thing I got to do, you can see I still have some bolts missing. I need to tighten up the bolts, and then I'm going to jack this up. I need to grab the starter and the starter bolts, so that way I can put that in there and then hook up the alternator cable along with the starter cable. That way everything's together, and then I'm going to run the rest of the harness. So all this is together, and then all we have to do is lift this thing up and shove it in. All right, so there's a little bit change in plans. You guys can see I have the harness. This is really hard to get to when it's in the car. But the harness, I thought the harness had the brackets on it, and they don't. So I'm gonna kind of just let them chill here. We're gonna go ahead and put it in the car, and then I'll zip tie it to here and kind of clean it up underneath. Another thing is there's a harness actually that goes underneath that I'm not gonna put on, because when trying to snake it in the car, it can get caught on like the steering line, on the subframe and that type of stuff. And it's just way easier to have it kind of pushed up. And then when it's in the car, I'll kind of, you know, throw it off and put it down. So looking at it, I think it's pretty much ready to go in. Everything else can be done in the car. Then after this is sitting in there where it's gonna live, then the next video will be the supercharger install. And we're getting close, y'all. Like, this is awesome to be able to see this whole thing come together, because I have only seen this car as a shell. So the fact that it's gonna have an engine in it, put the way that I want it, all, you know, dressed up nice, and it's gonna be super functional. Like I said, it's gonna be my drift car, so I'm stoked on it. I hope you guys are stoked on it too. So yeah, let's get this thing in here. Oh man, look at that thing in there. I mean, it looks kind of like a mess now because nothing's hooked up, but man, does that look good. Beautiful. So now I'm gonna start hooking everything up, putting the wire harness in, the fuel, that type of stuff, and then it will leave the front exposed because the next video, like I said, we'll be putting the supercharger on and getting this thing buttoned up and ready to go. All right, so not that much time has passed. I mean, you can see now I have everything kind of hooked up. Fuel lines hooked up, sensors hooked up. I have this going into there. There's nothing hooked in there yet, but you can see there's not this mess anymore. I do have to put this ground on there, and then kind of just get a little bit of the stuff situated. I don't have the cross member on underneath here yet. You can see the jack is still holding it. There's my new Z1 mount, and then I have to put the harness underneath and hook up like the clutch. But I mean, this car now has an engine, transmission, everything. Yes! Man, been waiting for this day. Okay, I won't be needing that thing, at least not for my projects anymore. I now have two of my Z's, both with their engines in them. I can't wait now to get started on the supercharger because now that I know that this is in here, it fits, everything looks good. Now it's just to bolt on the supercharger and like I said, and then put on the front. So I think for right now, I think that's gonna wrap it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys kind of saw through the time lapse, you guys can see kind of how I do things. Hopefully it helps you because that's also the point, not just connecting with you guys and being able to make some cool videos, but it's to help you guys and be able to reference stuff. So anyway, I hope everything's been well. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow. I have to get my daughter tonight and all that, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get started on the supercharger. So more videos coming at you. I'm stoked. I can't thank you guys enough for the support, for the love, the DMs. All of this isn't possible without you guys actually making it possible. So as always, big thank you to you. It just means so much to us that you guys, you know, rock with us so hard. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. All right, I know this video is over, but if you guys have stayed here to the end, you can see I have out my other camera. If you guys have watched through this video and kind of seen the other camera out on my toolbox, there's a reason for that. Starting next week, I'm gonna be starting a new series called Raw Vlogging It. I know, clever, right? But it's gonna be uninhibited, just vlogging day-to-day life. That way I can get more videos out for you guys. You guys can see behind the scenes stuff of what's going on when I'm doing stuff, how I'm doing stuff. And I'm gonna try and actually get a video out every single day. It's a big task, but I really have been telling myself that I love making videos. I love interacting with you guys. I love the love, the DMs, getting to meet you guys and that type of stuff. So I really wanted to kind of make a little bit more of an intimate you know, relationship with you guys, so you guys can see kind of a daily life, not just car stuff, and you know, give you guys an opportunity to see into my life, how I do things, and you know, make it maybe even that much more where we have something to connect on and be able to you know, talk about or or whatever. So anyway, I hope you guys are gonna dig that. So yeah, be on the lookout next week for raw vlogging. It's series 1, I guess.